Hey, what's up guys? Ruby here. It is March 28th, 2014, Friday, Erev Shabbos, Chavav Adar Beis. We are about 2 weeks away from Pesach Vegas Palooza 2014, and today I just wanted to show you, give you a little tour of the new and improved radial flow filter for the pond. So here's the pond, and in this pond we have two pumps. One of the pumps is at the bottom right over there, and it is inside a little thing with holes inside covered with rocks to protect it from the fish and some of the gunk and stuff. And the other one is in here, which is our skimmer. And if you open this up, you can see that there's like a little filter media, and then there's like a box of like more filter media, and then at the bottom is the pump. And that acts as a skimmer. It takes away, here, if I'll give you a little demonstration. It takes away stuff from the surface, and it goes in there and it traps it. Whatever, trust me, it works. So then those two pumps have hoses coming out of there, and they come into this. I have ball valves for each connection so that I can shut them off if I need to, or yeah, pretty much that's it. And that goes into a 1-inch PVC pipe. Now if we follow that around, you can see it's going this way, and it goes all the way right here into this first barrel right at the bottom. So how does this work? Well, I will show you. So let's take this out so I can give you a little demonstration. Take out this garbage can. So as you can see here, the water is coming up this tall pipe in the middle. It's a little bit hard to see, and that is where the water is coming out. And then at the bottom there, I'll show you that later, but that's where the water goes out if I need to take the water out. And then the water goes through here into the next filter. So the water comes in through here and out through there. Now let me just move this out of the way. I had this little thing, it's like, it was in the old filter, and I feel like it was covered in bacteria, so I thought maybe I should just keep it in, but sometimes it gets in the way. Okay, that should be good. Now I put this on top of the old pipe, that pipe, and perfect. Okay, so now what happens is the water comes up through that pipe, but now it's stuck because it's in this garbage can. It can't go straight out that. So first it has to go down to the bottom of the garbage can. This is a radial flow filter. So all those solids that come in, all that old algae and all the nasty stuff, whatever, instead of going straight into the filter, it has to first go through this radial flow filter, and so the water comes up, goes down through the garbage can, and the solids with it, and then the solids stick to the bottom, and only the relatively clean water comes out through this into the next stage. So this is great because before we had all this gunk accumulating on the bottom, and now the gunk accumulates on the bottom of this instead of the other filter, and it's much easier to clean out. So I don't know, can you see it? You see that pipe sticking out right over there? So that connects to this, and if I just open this up, all the water will come gushing out, and I can get rid of all that gunk pretty easily. So anyway, so the water comes out through here, and it goes to the next section of filters. So let's take the cover off. And this is the biomedia filter. So the water comes out through here and it goes into a T. This pipe goes all the way down to the bottom. And if you look closely, because it's a T, because there's air, you could see bubbles coming out. Right? Not too many. I thought there would be a lot more, but this is pretty good, much better than we had before. And that water is now free from the gunk. And so it goes through all the biomedia. So the first thing we have is bird netting filled with all these plastic scrubbies, and then under that we have some polyurethane black strapping. I found this deal on Craigslist. This guy was selling 7,500 feet, which is like 1.5 miles, and I started unrolling it, and I'm unrolling it for like 20 minutes, and there's still all this left because I got way too much. But whatever, it's definitely a lot. So that biomedia is a lot of surface area. Now that is going to attract a lot of beneficial bacteria, because you have turtles and fish, they go to the bathroom, and you have like plants that are disintegrating and dead fish and stuff, and that produces a lot of ammonia. Now that ammonia is really harmful to the fish, it's really harmful to the turtles, it's really harmful to the plants. But the bacteria comes along and eats that up, yummy, 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 and converts that into nitrites, and then into nitrates. And those nitrates, the final product of this cycle, is excellent food for the plants, and it's also not as harmful to the fish. So this is a very important part of the filtration process. So the water comes in through here, and then it goes into here, and then it goes throughout, and we'll follow that later. But what's great about this is you can see there's a lot of there's a lot of surface action happening, and that's where a lot of oxygenation. So instead of the water going straight into here at the bottom, and you know, it's all gunky and clogged and whatever, and it would get stinky, and then you get bad bacteria and aerobic bacteria, you don't want that. So this water comes in here, it gets oxygenated, it's oxygenating the biomedia, it's like supercharging it, and oh look, you can see here, I have 2 snails in here, which is pretty cool. They eat a lot of gunk too. And so the water comes out through here, and in order for this to work, I kind of messed up, but this surface, this water area has to be lower than this. Whatever, it's complicated, but basically this is acting as a skimmer. So there's a little bit left, so all the gunk on the top can come in, and this is also a skimmer, so that way you don't have like mosquitoes and like bugs and like everything just gets sucked off the top, and then that goes out through there and down this pipe. Let's put this cover back on. And that cover comes from the top of this filter. So that water goes down through here, and this contraption is really just because the water was splashing up, but the water comes down through here, continues along here, and if we follow it, this 2-inch PVC pipe goes all the way across here, and up there, and right out through here pretty much. And before, this was open and it was just splashing in, but the problem was that water would be splashing out and it would be hitting the wall and whatever. It wasn't really so great. But now the water is coming out under the surface, but I cut a lot of these holes in, so you can't really see so well. But basically these holes are basically sucking in air, and now it's creating this like little jacuzzi of all the little bubbles, all this oxygenation, which is great because you want, oh there we go, it stopped for a second, and now it's gonna turn back on so you can see the difference. You can see all those bubbles coming out. There's some sort of siphon action going on here, I'm not sure exactly how it works, but that water comes out through here, and before it goes to the waterfall, it feeds my watercress. I got this watercress from, you can see it's flowering already. I got it from this store called Specialty Produce, the only place that sold it, and it was like pretty bad. I just chucked it on the side, and then like within 2-3 days the thing just shot up. It's growing like crazy. You can kind of see the roots that are jumping out of this thing. I mean, it is growing really well, and so these plants are eating that nitrates, and so therefore, you know, it's getting rid of all this good gunk, and it looks really nice. And so those plants and those plants are working together to get rid of all the nitrate buildup, and for them it's like delicious superfood. It makes them grow really big, and these ones aren't growing as well, but they will soon, hopefully, when it gets a little bit sunnier, because they need a lot of sunlight. And yeah, and you can see so far it's working really well. I mean, the fish pond, I mean the pond is basically totally clear. We had some algae buildup before, but that's hopefully going to go away when the plants start really kicking in to high gear, and you can see a lot of the fish. And then all that stuff on the top is just duckweed. It grows in the aquarium, and I just chuck it in here. I probably shouldn't because it gets stuck, but whatever, it looks cool, and who knows. The turtles sometimes eat it, but they probably don't, whatever. So that's pretty much it. So a couple things I want to change is, first of all, I have to fix this whole cabling situation. You can see this plug, it's kind of all over the place. There's like this little like extension thing under there, whatever. So I want to try and like put some nails in here and stick it under there. And then also the big thing, which I've been trying to do for a while, but Craigslist is a finicky place to go shopping, is get a bunch of stepping stones, put them like a couple around here, and then plant grass seed, because you know this dirt doesn't look that nice. But what's interesting is they pour a lot of that water from the filters in here, or from the pond, and you can kind of see grass is like already growing. Let me show you what happened. I used to empty this filter into this backyard situation, and this was like nothing was growing over here. It was just dirt, and all of a sudden these plants just start shooting up out of nowhere. So this water is like full of nutrients. Pretty awesome. And yeah, what else could I tell you? So here, one thing that's really cool. So these 2 pipes are the exhaust pipes. So this one I showed you already. So if I open this up, like this whole thing will drain out, and this one will do it over here. And then you see you're probably wondering like, what's all this black gunk over here? Well, this is called roofing and flashing sealant. Not to recommend it for underwater use, but I think that's just a legal thing because it works really well. And before, I was using silicone to make these pipe connections, and it was just leaking like crazy. It was not working, and then I covered it in this stuff and it was working. But this time I was able to take these electrical conduit pieces, which are just like a male and female, you know, you screw them together, and so I put this flashing sealant in the middle, and it worked really well. And yeah, so far no leaks, so that's amazing. But it gets all over your hands, and that's no fun. And the only way to get it off is if you use WD-40, but you're not supposed to put WD-40 on your hands, so then you have to wash your hands for like half an hour, and I still have it. You can see a little bit over there in my nails a little bit, whatever, that's gross. But yeah, the stuff doesn't really come off that well. But yeah, it's working really well. So you can see these holes that I drilled through here this time, I bought, you can't really see, but whatever, the pipe goes through there, it goes through a hole. So I bought on Amazon this hole saw, and it's made in China, and it's super junky, but it ended up working out. You can see this hole is pretty smooth. It was shaking, so like this hole's supposed to be a little bit smaller, but it was like, ugh. Whatever, it ended up working out. Yeah, anything else I can tell you? Not really. So that's basically all you need to know about the brand new Radial Flow filter. I wanted to put these two filters right up against the wall, but it didn't end up working out because this, where the water comes out of the last filter, is in the back. I originally put it like in the front and then had it going down on an angle, but I was working with such a small amount of space that it just ended up working out like this. There's enough space for the sukkah, so I'm not too concerned about it. But yeah, hopefully I'll send you a new update when everything is totally finished. Hopefully I'll be able to find rocks and make this a little bit nicer landscaping wise. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Have a great Shabbos. See y'all soon, 2 weeks. Bye-bye.